words of praise. The book of Lamentations, chapter 23, verses 22 and 23 says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness." Indeed, God is faithful, having divinely designed this joyous moment for the Shillong Archdiocese to gladly and graciously host His Excellency, Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, Nunctio of India and Nepal. And we formally welcome him to this august gathering in the midst of God's very own anointed shepherds, our most reverend archbishops and bishops of the 7 states of the northeastern region, our devoted priests and religious, our honorable leaders of the state of Meghalaya, our respected government dignitaries, leaders of lay associations, and representatives of the laity of Shillong Archdiocese. The purpose of the visit of His Excellency, Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, is auspicious in nature. As an ambassador of the Holy Father, Pope Francis, he is here to present the pallium to His Grace, Most Reverend Victor Lingdor, the newly appointed Archbishop of the Shillong Archdiocese, Meghalaya. He is a man of outstanding virtues and great humility with a deep love for God, no doubt. And the pallium which is to be presented to him is made from pure lamb's wool, meant to be worn round the neck. And it is also a significant symbol empowering our dear Archbishop with authority to shepherd his flock with great love and care. With a convincing certainty, I can say that this place would have been filled with a throng of multitude to welcome our esteemed guest. But of course, we are under the constraints of the pandemic. Nevertheless, it is still right for us to give thanks to God for allowing us to congregate and to enjoy this precious moment together. A very good evening once again, and I wish you the very best and hope that we will have a beautiful and a memorable time together.
There is no better way to begin any function other than by turning to God and invoking His presence and blessings. So, we shall start off our program with a prayer dance by Saint Margaret's Convent.
Thank you so much, dear girls of St. Margaret's Convent. That was so serene, so tranquil, and it has indeed set the tone for today's evening. We will now move on to the next part of the program. It is such a beautiful privilege for me and an honor to request His Grace, Most Reverend Victor Lingdor, Archbishop Shillong Archdiocese, to felicitate our honorable guest this evening and formally welcome His Excellency, Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli.
Good evening to you all. It is my humble privilege to welcome you all to this auspicious program arranged by the Archdiocese of Shillong. The Archdiocese of Shillong is the mother diocese of Northeast India. Today, we are very fortunate to have a beloved Nunctio of India and Nepal, the bishops of Northeast India, who came for the Northeast Bishops' Council, the dignitaries and the important people of our state, like our Honorable Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, Honorable Member of Parliament Vincent Pala, on all other ministers, James Sangma, and all other ministers of the state of Meghalaya, all the MLAs here, MDCs, and all of you, my dear father provincials, sister provincials, dear fathers, brothers, and sisters, and my dear laity. Let me take this opportunity to welcome. I request Most Reverend John Mulachara to welcome a dear Nunctio with a shawl, Kashi shawl. Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, the Nunctio of India and Nepal. Welcome, Your Excellency. Honorable Shri Conrad Sangma, the Chief Minister of Meghalaya. Honorable Shri Vincent Pala, the Member of Parliament of Lok Sabha. Most Reverend John Mulachira, Archbishop of Guwahati and the President of Northeast India Regional Bishops' Council. Most Reverend Dominic Luman, Archbishop of Nepal. Most Reverend James Toffel, Bishop of Kohima and Secretary of Northeast India Bishops' Council. Most Reverend Lumen Monteiro, CSC DD, Bishop of Akatala, he is also a Jubilarian. Most Reverend John Thomas, Bishop of Itanakar. Most Reverend Andrew Marak, Bishop of Tura. Most Reverend Dennis Panit Pichai, Auxiliary Bishop of Miao. Most Reverend Albert Hamram, Bishop of Dibrukar. Most Reverend Stephen Rodranka, Bishop of Abi Aisol. Most Reverend Michael Acacius Topo, Bishop of Tezpur. Most Reverend Paul Matikat, Bishop of Difu. Most Reverend George Chirakal, Auxiliary Bishop of Tura. Most Reverend Father Ferdinand Dekar, Dyson Administrator of Jawai. Reverend Father Ansem Nonglang, Dyson Administrator of Nongstoin. Father Richard Manbha Majau, Vicar General of Shillong. Reverend Jimmy Marngar, Chancellor of Shillong. Fatebo Lingdo, the Mission Procurator of Shillong Archdiocese. Father Manjali, Thomas Manjali, Golden Jubilarian. And all of you, my dear provincial fathers, provincials, sister provincials, my dear fathers, brothers, sisters, and all the laity. Yeah, welcome James also. It is indeed a great opportunity for us to gather together in this evening. I'm very glad to have this short reception programs in honor of His Excellency Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, our Nunctio to India and Nepal. We know that every culture has a unique lesson to teach, and that without culture, the essence of the community is lost. The culture is also one of the most important factors that binds its people together, and it is the foundation to a prosperous lifetime of the people. So as part of our reception program this evening, our faithful will perform few of the rich traditions of the Khasis, the Jaintias, and the Garos. These cultural programs will highlight the cultures that are living in our state, handed down by our ancestors from ancient time. Once again, I express my heartfelt thanks to Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli and all the ministers, the archbishops, the bishops present here. And at the same time, I convey my appreciation and greetings to all the performers of the evening program who will make it a wonderful and memorable one. Once again, warm welcome to everyone to this evening program, and have a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Grace, for doing the honors of welcoming all our guests, and for making each and every one of them most comfortable. Now, let us delight ourselves by watching a short documentary on Shillong Archdiocese at a glance, to be presented before us by the SASCOM team.
Known as the God of Clouds, was formed on 21st January
Thank you very much to the SASCOM team for providing such a lucid overview of the flourishing and thriving growth of the church. And indeed, there is something that we cannot forget, and that is the tremendous contribution that the church has made to this region, which deserves admiration. We will now move on to the next part of the program. And as we have already learned from the short clipping that was shown about Meghalaya being a land that is breathtakingly beautiful, and it is also a land to the three main tribes, the Khasis, the Jaintias, and the Garos. It is my great pleasure to invite now on stage our Garo friends to let us take a look at a slice of their cultural wealth. Please sit back and enjoy.
Thank you very much, the Garo dancers, for that most fascinating dance performance. And now, to speak a few words on behalf of the laity, may I invite to the dais the executive member of the Catholic Council of India, who is also the Vice President of Northeast Regional Catholic Council, State President, All India Catholic Union, General Secretary, Catholic Association of Shillong, and an individual who shoulders many other responsibilities in the church and society, Sri Barnabas Nangba. And may I request Mr. Philip Shetty to kindly escort him.
Good evening, one and all. Oh, nice response. Thank you. But I heard the applauses were very poor when the Archbishop was speaking. Can we have another applause for the Archbishop, please? On behalf of the laity of the Shillong Archdiocese and the faithful of the Northeast region, I extend our warmest greetings to Your Excellency, Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, Apostolic Nunctio to India and Nepal. We are greatly honored that Your Excellency has been so gracious as to make a personal visit to this remote part of India in order to confer the pallium to our Archbishop, Most Reverend Victor Lingdo. The last visit by a nuncio to our Archdiocese was in the year 2010, during the National Youth Convention of the Indian Catholic Youth Movement. We are therefore blessed and fortunate to have your presence with us for the next 2 days. 131 years ago, young missionaries from Germany left the comfort of their homes on the call of the Holy Father to take charge of the new mission land in the northeastern part of the then British India. The remoteness of the place, inclement weather, lack of proper amenities and medical facilities took a heavy toll on these missionaries. Many of them paid with their lives in order to lay the foundation stone for the Catholic faith. But their death was not in vain. As surely and steadily the faith took root and spread to every nook and corner of the mission land. At a time when the people of our region were mostly illiterate and the missionaries could barely speak the local language, our people took a leap of faith. Thereafter, there was no looking back. The new believers in turn became missionaries by their living example. The exponential growth of the early church should be attributed to the passion and love the believers have for the newfound faith. By sharing their faith with their loved ones, friends, neighbors, and fellow villagers, they help spread the faith even to the remotest of areas. Most of us today who were born in the Catholic faith owe our debts to our parents and forefathers who have said yes to God and accepted the true faith. The unsung heroes in the growth of the church in the Northeast are the catechists, church leaders, and the laity. As a living example, we can cite the case of Arunachal Pradesh, where till the 1980s, priests and religious were not allowed entry into the northeastern frontier then. But some students who studied in Don Bosco Technical School here in Shillong, other Catholic institutions in Dibrugarh and Tejpur became Catholics. When they went back, they became lay missionaries. Ever since, the state of Arunachal Pradesh has witnessed many laity missionaries, resulting in the rapid growth of the faith in that state. Today, we have 2 dioceses in Arunachal Pradesh with a Catholic population of about 200,000 and 30.6% of the population of the state have become Christians. We are indebted to the pioneers, that is, the Salvatorian Fathers, the Jesuit Fathers, the Salesian congregation, and to our missionaries from South India, we should not forget them, for this gift of faith. It is also with great joy that we would be joining in celebration with the Salesian congregation in the year 2022 as they commemorate their 100 years of dedicated service to the people of the Northeast India. As we enter the synodal year 21-22, the Holy Father has urged, a quote, the bishops, priests, religious and laity, all the baptized, to learn to listen to one another, to listen to the world, to the challenges and changes that is set before us, unquote. The laity have high expectation that the Synod of Bishops who will deliberate on the theme, communion, participation, and mission, will take into consideration the great contribution made by the laity in the growth of the church throughout the centuries, and will be inspired to consider a greater participatory role for the laity in the day-to-day affairs of the church. Let me conclude with the parting words of the Holy Father in his inaugural address on the opening ceremony of the synodal year. Again, I quote, "Dear brothers and sisters, let us have a good journey together. May we be pilgrims in love with the gospel and open to the surprises of the Holy Spirit. Your Excellency, we wish you a pleasant stay in Shillong and pray that God may grant you good health and wisdom to diligently discharge your duties as the Apostolic Nunctio to India and Nepal. Regards and best wishes from the laity of Nunctio and Jowai dioceses too. They wish to request the kind intervention of Your Excellency for the early appointment of the Good Shepherd for their dioceses. Thank you. Mithela, Kublai Shibun.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barnabas Nangba, for saluting and acknowledging the contribution made by the missionaries in the Northeast. And thank you for also saluting the laity of this region. And the laity indeed are like living stones who are built on the foundation, who is Jesus Christ himself. Standing here, I am yet privileged again to invite another eminent personality who has made tremendous contributions to society, and he is also a sturdy pillar of the church. He is none other than our very own Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Vincent H. Pala. May I request Mr. Vincent Kharmalki to escort Mr. Vincent Pala to the dais. It's a privilege again to announce two people by the same name.
Christus vincit, Christus regnat, and Christus imperat. Christ conquer, Christ reigns, Christ commands. Your Excellency, Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, Apostolic Nunctio to India and Nepal. Your Grace, Most Reverend Victor Longdo, Archbishop of Shillong Diocese. other bishops, archbishops, priests, religious, Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Conrad Sangma, Honorable Minister James Sangma, MLAs, MDCs, friends from the government of Meghalaya, our lay people, a very warm evening to each one of you present in this gathering. Your Excellency, I feel blessed, humbled, and privileged as Member of Parliament from the Shillong constituency to warmly greet you and welcome you to this scenic and beautiful hill station, Shillong. Shillong, for your kind information, was and still is the seat and hub of the best and sought-after educational institutions in the Northeast. Many of these institutions are run by various congregations of the Catholic missions in Shillong. It is approximately 11 years after the visit of His Excellency Most Reverend Salvatore Panunzio, the then Apostolic Nuncio to India in 2010, when the Archdiocese of Shillong hosted the 8th National Youth Convention in this very place. Your visit, I am sure, will not only rejuvenate the pastoral spirit and enthusiasm of all the priests and religious leaders, but will boost, energize, and strengthen the faith and enthusiasm of the Catholic faithful in the Archdiocese of Shillong, in the Northeast in general, and Meghalaya in particular. The contributions and influence of the Catholic missions in this part of the country have hugely impacted the cultural, social, and economic development of the areas wherever the Catholic missionaries have set their foot and established their missions. Many of us here are products of the contributions made by the Catholic missions. We are what we are today is because of the contributions of the Catholic missionaries who selflessly reached out to the nook and corner of the state to educate, improve their living conditions, brought new hopes, new lives to all and sundry. They taught and educate the ignorant, fed the hungry, clothed the naked, and provide health support to the sick and needy. Your Excellency, as I stand here, I am reminded of the Italian saying, "Rosso di sera, buon tempo si spera." The English translation is more or less, when the sky is red in the evening, good weather is coming. Your visit to Shillong is like a red sky foretelling a new enthusiasm of goodwill, joy, and confidence to all the faithful of the Archdiocese of Shillong and Meghalaya. It foretells of the care, the concern you care for the faithful of Shillong and Meghalaya. It is definitely a rejuvenating visit that is highly welcomed and appreciated. We hope and pray that his holy visit will not only be the first and the last, but a prelude to many more of your apostolic visits. When the German Salvatorian missionaries came to Shillong 131 years before, there were no Kasi Catholics. The missionaries sacrificed all the leisure and comfort of Germany they had at that time. But today, we have an archdiocese and 3 dioceses with more than 1 million approximately faithful. So we thank God. We welcome you once again. Thank you very much. God bless you, and we hope that you enjoy your stay here in our diocese. Thank you.
We thank our Honorable Member of Parliament, Sri Vincent H. Pala, for that very enlightening speech. Thank you very much, sir. And now, another major tribe of Meghalaya, the Jaintia tribe, will present before us a Jaintia dance.
Thank you very much, dear girls. That was such a terrific performance, and I am sure all our guests, especially our esteemed guests, must be astounded at the dexterity and the skill of how they held those plates without allowing them to fall. And mind you, they did not have any glue or gum. As I stand here, I am to partake of another indulgence yet again, to invite to the dais a humble and outstanding personality of the church. He is none other than His Grace Most Reverend Archbishop John Mulachira, who is also the President of Northeast Regional Bishops' Council, to deliver his address at this gathering. And may I request Mr. Peter Doctorate to accompany His Grace. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Most Reverend Leopoldo Girelli, the Apostolic Nunctio to India and Nepal, Most Reverend Victor Lingdo, the Archbishop of Shillong, my brother Archbishops and Bishops, Your Excellency, the Conrad Sagman, the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, his cabinet colleagues, and other MLAs, MPs, Vincent Pala, the MP from Meghalaya, all the distinguished guests, fathers, sisters, brothers, and my dear friends. I stand here today in the name of the Church of Northeast India, first of all, to accord our hearty welcome to our Apostolic Nuncio to this region, more specifically to Shillong. Your Excellency, you represent Pope Francis for us. Our love and devotion to our Good Shepherd, Pope Francis, is manifested by our welcome and our appreciation for your presence here. We also request you to convey to him our love and appreciation. Tell him we love him, we appreciate his sayings, and we are trying our best to live up to his expectation as bishops, priests, religious, and good Catholics. One way, I was happy that we had COVID-19 here because Bishop Victor could not go to Rome. And it made the nuncio to travel all the way to Shillong. And he is just 4 months old in India. And as somebody said, in the early part of his ministry, to have him in Northeast India, we are really privileged. So we are very grateful to God, not because of COVID, but because we have got a chance to participate in the pallium giving ceremony. As it was told, Shillong is a Catholic and a Christian center. If it was normal times, the whole Maidan would have been filled with Catholics to see how their Archbishop is receiving the pallium. But now it is limited to a small number. But we want to tell you that we have got a strong church in Meghalaya especially. Look at your left, we have got a MP Catholic, and on your right, the Chief Minister who is a Catholic, and many others. And also I suppose there are many other Christians who represent the church in Northeast India. One of my favorite passages in the Bible is the parable of the talents. We read it in the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 25, verse 14 onwards. It speaks about a king who, before he went for a trip, gave 5 talents to one of his officers, 2 talents to another one, and 1 talent to the third. And he went abroad. He came back after a long time, and when he came back, he asked for an account of the talents which he had given them. The first 2 came and said, "Sir, the talents you have given us, it has doubled." The third one said, "Sir, here is your talent. I kept it safe. I had buried it, and now I want to give it to you." All the talents which are spoken by Jesus is meant for the people to examine themselves. What does this talent tell me? What does this talent tell you? This parable tell you? This parable tells us that we are all different. God has made us different. So as a result, he does not want to have any competition among ourselves, because I am different and he or she is different. So as a result, I try to develop the talent, multiply the talent which I have got without reference to others. What the Lord wants is that we put in our best. That is one of the first lessons which I learned from this parable. What is the second lesson I learned from this parable, it tells me that God will ask an account of the talents, the gifts, the graces which He has given me, which He has given you. So, do I multiply the gifts and the talents which He has given me? And one of the talents and the grace which He has given me is my Catholic faith. All those who spoke here, they are proud of their Christian roots or the Catholic faith. But did our faith multiply as the talent in the first person and in the second person? How do I multiply my faith gift which God has given me? First of all, by living my faith. And secondly, not burying it under or hiding it under a bushel, expressing it and living it. Do I share my faith with others is a question which I ask myself, which all of us should ask ourselves. And that is what evangelization is. I share my faith with others. If I don't share my faith with others, what is God going to tell us on the last day? You wicked servant, get out of me and be in the dark place. So it applies to me, it applies to you. Pope Francis says, if you are a baptized Catholic, you are an evangelist, you are an apostle, you must preach the gospel. And for Shillong, yes, you are all old, strong Catholics. It doesn't mean that you take pride in your faith without multiplying it, manifesting it, and sharing it. We all got problem explicitly in preaching the gospel because we say the environment is vicious. But can we do it implicitly? That we spread our faith? One of the methods which I suggest is that every one of us here will think about 5 people who are not a Christian. Pray for them. Wish them all the best. Pray that God may give them good health. God may bless their families. God may bless their endeavors. And be sincerely be interested in them. Why? That can be evangelization, because prayers never go wasted. And I tell my Christians, not 5 people, make a list of 20 people, maybe your colleagues, your friends, your companions, your subordinates, whom you would have been happy to see as a Catholic or as a Christian, and pray for them daily. Because you may not be able to tell them bluntly, why don't you become a Catholic? Why don't you believe in Jesus Christ? But wish them well, pray for them, God's grace will work. Can you for 1 minute think about at least 3 people whom you wish to be Christian in your mind now? Pray for them and maybe add 2 more afterwards. Then what will happen is, yes, our faith will flourish, faith will spread, and the Lord will say on the last day, yes, well done, my faithful servant. Enter into the kingdom which has been prepared for you. Today, we congratulate Archbishop Victor because tomorrow he is going to receive the fullness of archbishopric by getting the pallium. We welcome our Apostolic Nunctio. We wish you a nice time here. We wish you God's blessing in your ministry. And we pray for our Holy Father that God may give him good health and may he be a great witness to Jesus Christ through his life and words. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Grace, for that warm, divine, and very encouraging message. And now, to present us yet another important message, it is my pleasure to invite to the dais the elected head of our state government, a vibrant leader who is always there for the church in both good and difficult times, the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Shri Conrad K. Sangma. And may I request Mr. Philip Shetty to kindly escort our Honorable CM.
His Excellency, Most Reverend Archbishop Leopoldo Girelli, the Apostolic Nunctio to India and Nepal, all our archbishops who are present out here today, all the bishops, all our priests, our sisters and our brothers, our Honorable Member of Parliament, my colleague in the cabinet, Mr. James, and all the other MLAs and the MDCs, all the former MLAs and MDCs who are present out here, the different organizations of the church, the Catholic faithfuls, ladies and gentlemen, press and media, and all my dear friends who are present here on this beautiful evening that we have today. I stand here as a Catholic to welcome His Excellency to our state. It is indeed a great honor, and the joy that is there in the hearts of the 1 million Catholics, and in fact, the 3.8 million citizens of our state, and I'm sure the entire region of the Northeast is indeed very happy to have you here today, Your Excellency. It is after a very long period of 11 years that the Apostolic Nuncio has come to our state. So therefore, it is indeed a really great moment and a very, very happy moment for each and every one of us. A few days back, I was interacting with one professor from Oxford University. His name is Professor Land. He is an expert on organizations, governance, and he looks at how to make an organization and government more productive. So he mentioned to us in his presentation and the discussion that for an organization to be more capable, more productive, we must start with a purpose. We must have a passion. And we must have an organizational structure to be able to deliver that particular purpose or passion that one may have. Our church makes up just 1.55% of the population of this country. And yet, if you see the contribution that we have made to the country, to our region, to our state, and to many lives and individuals who are in this room and who may not be having the pleasure or the honor to be here today because of restrictions, it is huge. You look at the country as a whole, the number of schools that was mentioned, the number of hospitals, the number of social organizations, the number of individuals who may not be Catholics but passed out from these schools today, sitting in top positions in different organizations, ministers, MLAs, CEOs of companies, have come out from Catholic institutes. This is a contribution of the Catholic Church. You look at our state of Meghalaya. I don't have to tell any one of you about the contributions that have been made by the Catholic missionaries, by the Catholic priests, by the Catholic Church today to make a difference in the lives of our people. If I were to look at it at my personal level,